What's up, everyone? It's Reena from Imply, and I am back again with another Druid in 100 challenge, joined again by Sergio Ferragut, my teammate and senior developer advocate here at Imply. Thank you, Sergio, for doing another one of these with me.
I love them. Let's do it.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about Druid 29 and what's been involved in this release. And one of the things that's been really important is SQL standard compliance, right? So making sure that we are consistent with our SQL standardization to kind of reduce the learning curve. Most developers know SQL, or at least a little bit, to help them, be able to use Druid easier and more effectively. So one of the things we have added support for is pivot unpivot, which is just really fun to say. But I want to know more about what this is, why this matters in 100 seconds. Are you up for the challenge?
Let's do it.
All right. 100 seconds on the clock. Ready, go.
All right. So, like you said, pivot and unpivot are new SQL functions in Druid 29. They are, I'd say, SQL operators because they change the way you query the data. And so, pivot. What does pivot do? Pivot will take values of rows and pivot them into columns. So you're exchanging data organized in rows to data organized in columns. So typically this is useful for, let's say you have an aggregation of across two different dimensions, and this creates a long list of values, and you want to reshape it into a more readable report, right? So you can take one of those dimensional columns and pivot on it such that the values of the column become columns combined with some aggregates. So you could do multiple aggregates for each of the values, and therefore reorganize the data into columns instead of rows. Unpivot does the opposite thing, right? So unpivot, you may have a set of columns that you want to treat the values of as a single column. So it's taking multiple columns, merging them, and converting their values into more rows. So an example of that, it would be like Wikipedia. If you take Wikipedia added and deleted columns, and you want a single column to sort by max delete or max insert or max add, then you put them into a single column, sort by that, and then pick the first few, and it'll show you the event that deleted the most was this, or the event that added the most was this, and sort them that way. So it helps you. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, so you got it.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm not running a tight ship here. Like, it's all right. Okay, I'll let you finish your thought.
Oh no, that was sort of the end of it, right? Unpivot does that, right? It's the opposite of pivot, but it's useful in those cases where you want to combine multiple columns to do something.
I'm taking the pressure off of this. Okay, so where can people try this out, learn more about it, and see it in action?
The Learn Druid repo. That is an open source repo that we publish here at Imply. It has Docker Compose that brings up Kafka, brings up Druid, brings up Jupyter Notebooks, and it has a set of Jupyter Notebooks with all sorts of different examples of how to do things in Druid. And now it includes a pivot unpivot notebook that you can take a look at. Yeah.
Definitely our most fun feature to say. Okay, well, thank you, Sergio. Thank you for going through this challenge with me and giving us the full scoop on Pivot Unpivot. We'll be back with more Druid in 100 videos, so stay tuned.